You get a flat tire, you fill it up, and you move on. That's deep, man, deep. You guys don't even pay for this. This is just free advice. I just give it away. It's unbelievable. What value I provide. Oh God, my lungs. Hey, race fan, Brian Davis races, and you can too. Today we are going to Manitowoc, Wisconsin to race fat bikes. I'm very excited about that. This is the first race I've had in like, I don't know, 3 months or so. So stoked about that. First race in the Snowcrown Series, which is 4 races. Please like, subscribe, jump on the channel because I'm gonna be doing all 4 races and I want you to follow along. Friends, we've arrived at the park and there is no snow in this park. It's crowded today, friends. We got a big show. Hey, race fan, we got number 7 for the series. I'm excited, and we got a hat because I signed up early enough because I absolutely love this series. So thanks, Broken Spoke. It's 27 degrees, I believe. I got studs. Pump up the pressure. Fitness is good, weight is good. Like, man, I should be okay today. All right, race fam, let's get started on this now. Again, GoPro failed me. I think I figured out what the problem is. It went in time-lapse mode again, but here we are. All right, so it's a Le Mans start at this race, which is interesting because I didn't get my bike quite where I wanted it, and I thought I was in trouble, but it turns out that's not the case. I still got a great start. I'm gonna roll out of here because I ran further than everybody else, I think. I was able to get past 4 or 5 people straight away, and now, boom, I'm in 5th wheel, I think, going into the start of this race, which is great. I feel like I'm in a good spot. But quickly, things are going to change. So in the pre-ride, I felt like the bike was just responding kind of weird. I couldn't quite put my finger on what the issue was, but ultimately, in the end, I figured out that the tires were losing air pressure slowly at first, and then more pronounced here coming up shortly. So again, in 5th wheel, and the Dustin ahead of me here has a little bit of a trouble getting up those roots, and I take a spot there, and now I'm in 4th wheel. This is great. I feel like I'm in a good position. I don't feel like I'm getting overly taxed for this moment of the race, so I'm feeling like, all right, things are coming together. I've been really focused on my bringing my weight back in control after the holidays, and I downloaded MyFitnessPal and started counting my macros and things like that, and so far so good. Anyway, I had a good week going into this. My training kicked off with Coach Zach. We put in some Zone 2 ahead of this race, and all that was going well. So things okay, but you can see right here already I'm starting to slip the lead here, and I'm pedaling my heart out, and I can't quite figure out why I'm not able to close this gap. Now the riders ahead of me are super strong, so there's that, but it just felt unnaturally hard. And then here's a little crash. Okay, I'm able to get through that, great, and now I'm going to be in 2nd wheel if I had power. Now look at me go up this hill. I think I was going like, you can almost see 11 miles an hour, maybe 12, and then later in the race when I figured out my air pressure problems, I was able to do this hill at 13 miles an hour, so 2 miles an hour difference, and especially on the first lap, like there's a lot of time I lost in this section, and you can see all these people just whizzing by me, and I'm thinking to myself the whole time like, this does not seem normal. So I'm just going to run you guys through the first lap, and then we're going to talk a little bit about what I did and didn't do in this race. So yeah, just people left and right. So I think part of my issue is when I hit these bumps. Now in the pre-ride, I didn't hit that little takeoff lip or anything. I didn't do that. There's a bump there. You know, I didn't hit those really hard going into this, and I thought, well, okay. But in the end, I think maybe some of those bigger hits, here's another one, caused the air pressure to burp out, and the sealant was in there from last winter. So that's completely on me, a total oversight on maintenance. I didn't get the wheels filled up again, or you know, I can even do that part myself, but I didn't do that. I only got one pre-ride, or I'm sorry, one session on, no, 2 sessions on the fat bike prior to the race, and that both of those were on snow, so I didn't notice it as much, although in the parking lot I had a flat. So again, sorry about the camera work here. The issue is because the GoPro got put on time lapse. Apparently, fun fact, if you long hold the quick start button, that turns it into time lapse, and if you short press, that turns it into a regular video. I don't know who in the world needs to grab time lapse and just get that started right away. I have no idea. But first lap up this hill, okay. Later in the race, even with my air pressure issues, I figured if I could spin up this, that just takes me that much longer. So I started sprinting up it toward the end of the race, and that felt a lot better, especially when I had proper air pressure. So big descent here. This is the same course from last year, no changes. So I knew the course well enough. I did get one pre-ride on the course, which is really important in fat bike racing if you can. And I learned another thing that I'm going to tilt up the camera more next time. And now here I'm going aero. That's why it was so bad there. But in any event, it was a great race. You know, overall, things went well. I'm happy with the performance. I put out a good amount of heart rate. But yeah, that's what happened. So here I am. Yeah, this is still first lap. We're going to see me, you can see me struggling here to just keep up. And there I am. Still, all those people went ahead of me. I'm just struggling. Look how much, I mean, it just looks labored to get that bike up and rolling. My good start, completely ruined, gone, out the window. And the issue was the in the first half of the race, the front tire was failing. In the second half of the race, the rear tire was failing. And I'm sure there were times throughout the whole race. Now, at a certain point, I just had enough, and I was contemplating just quitting, going home. I got to get to my son's band concert. If I quit early, I can for sure make it. If I finish the race, it's going to be dicey. But I decided to actually, my solution was I parked right next to the course, pretty close to the start finish. Here you can see my front wheel's pretty flat from a photographer. Thanks, Gary, for the shots. Gary, I should credit Gary. I got to credit Gary or buy this photo. I'll buy that photo. Sorry, Gary. So you could, I just wanted to show you like these flat tires. Oh no, these are from my friend John. So flat tires. Ugh, frustrating. All right, now here with 6 laps done, 2 to go. I'm just going to take off the course because it's getting to the point where it's dangerous. And I thought, well, I could finish 2 more laps on these, but the tires are, I mean, there's no longer a question that they're going flat. Like, they are definitely flat. So I parked right around the corner here. Here's Tara's cheering me on, which is great. And then I take off the course and she's like, where are you going? I don't really know where I'm going, except I know I desperately need air in these stupid tires. So I'm going to run over to my car. I have one of those pneumatic ones from Ryobi so I know it's not going to take very long to fill up the tires. And, you know, I was already destroyed in the race anyway, so who cares? So I'm going to fill up the back. Now, by the time I finished these last 2 laps, the rear was already probably 40%. I'm trying to get it up to like 10 PSI, was where I would be ideally on a day like this. The front tires just like completely toast by this point. Just trying to get some amount of sealant to get the last 2. Now, the last 2 laps, I put in a elite level race in lap 7, which is what I'm taking off for right now. I got an 8-minute lap on lap 7. Fine. That would have put me in the running for 6th, 7th place overall if I could have roughly kept that pace. It's impossible to say, but I would have been happy with that, right? Anyway, somewhere in there, and these are guys I usually finish with, maybe behind Paul, behind Brian, somewhere up there with Carlos and Jason and Dustin, somewhere in that mix. Mike maybe had a bad race or bad start. Usually he kicks my butt. So and then my teammate Jeff Abbott's is up there too. He's super strong, so I don't know where I would have ended up, but certainly better than almost last. So we're just gonna get this done and finish it up. And man, I had fun. It was this scene, by the way, fat bike racing. It's just so fun. So go race your bike. Recap, because I did poorly and that race took forever. But if I hustle, I can make it to my son's concert, band concert today. So that's what I'm gonna do. Hustle up. Didn't even have a post-race beer. Just getting in the car and rolling out. But I just wanted to give you a quick couple thoughts. I had a flat rear. I had a flat front. I stopped at lap 6 of 8. Filled up the front. I filled up the rear. Did I fill up the rear? I feel like I filled. Yeah, I did fill up the rear. The rear went flat for sure by the finish line. The front held. So Oh, God, maintenance. Me and maintenance, man. Not my thing. Take the bike to a shop prior to racing and have them figure stuff out. That's my tip of the day. Despite the bike, whatever, like, I'm really happy with that race. I gave it my all. My heart rate was jacked the whole time. There was maybe like 3/4 of a lap where I felt sorry for myself and my flat tires, and I realized they were flat, and I was like, well, maybe I'll just throw in the towel. And then I decided, nope, I'm gonna go fill up the air and move on. And that, I think there's some lessons there, maybe more about life than about bike racing, but you know, you get a flat tire, you fill it up, and you move on. That's deep, man, deep. You guys don't even pay for this. This is just free advice. I just give it away. It's unbelievable. What value I provide. Oh God, my lungs.